break here. Gonna get some breathing in, get some food, get some water.
Oh, what did we just do? Man, we just hiked up like a couple thousand freaking feet. Everybody's struggling, pushing through.
We've seen some stuff I've probably never seen before. I've been at heights I've never been at before.
He's at the very early stages of pulmonary edema. Like it's going fast. Pulmonary edema without treatment, if you keep going up, could be fatal.
Really?
Yeah. I'm talking about the ice.
So a bit of up, a bit of down.
Yeah, a bit up, bit of down, and then
So
we gotta
up
turn
and
back.
down,
Yep.
and then we're going to come back and go up and down again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like
I didn't
this.
fucking sign up for that.
Today we find ourselves in Smoky Mountains 84 days prior to trying to summit Mount Kilimanjaro.
It's a shakeout hike, right? So we do this in the military. We take the equipment that we've been given, we try out the boots, we try out the ruck, and we also practice kind of more or less in the terrain that we're going to be executing the missions.
We was here to kind of get to know each other. I'm so happy that we've actually got to understand the personalities right now, so that when we start and get into the, as soon as we fly into the airport and we all meet each other, we're picking up, today's day 4 that we've been together. So when we pick up in Kilimanjaro, it'll be day 5.
Oh man,
That was the first however many mile before I even
that was a mile? That was like 10 miles. Man, I'm not in shape anymore. We'll get there.
Basically, this is something that David Kramer and Pete Brownell and I have been working on for a number of years. And the idea really being there's a network of really awesome nonprofits out there. And we wanted to find a way where we could bring them all together around like a shared experience. The nonprofits that we're working with are primarily military focused. And these are dudes that love to, find a challenge and beat it. What better way than finding something like, the world's tallest freestanding mountain?
My mentor has been to Kilimanjaro 11 times. Why does he continue to go back? I asked him that question. What he told me was no matter what, every time he's on that mountain, he learns a new lesson about life. It's like, okay, well, I'm ready to learn and I want to grow.
People who suffer through something together generally have a bond that's particular to them and that they can relate to, and you can always have a conversation around it.
I feel like I have a lot of purpose in life in what I'm doing right now, but really I think, you just, at times you need to refocus and, get away from technology and spend some time, thinking, some self-reflection.
It's been a while for some of us. Like, I haven't done any, super significant hiking in a while. And the other part of that is just meeting guys. It's taking 11 individuals and forming it into one entity. And that is like the coolest thing.
You're going to be on this trip in the backcountry of Tanzania for about 10 days, and you're going to be stressing yourself at altitude. You want to make sure that you have at least a face-to-face time and some backcountry time with them to build that bond.
I know all the guys, whether from previous life in the military or current life, what they're trying to accomplish is 2 things that I'm fully aware of. Number 1 is showing people that they're not alone. And number 2 is showing that anything in life can happen when you're trying to do something. In this case, it was climbing a mountain. Some folks make it all the way to the top, some don't. Everyone needs to know that they're not the only ones going through all the things that they're going through. When I was in dark times, I felt that, I thought that, like no one's suffering like I'm suffering, and it just wasn't true. But the only way that you can debunk that is with another warrior, saying, hey, this is how I felt and this is how I did it. You need people to climb the mountain with you. Like, I can't climb that mountain on my own.
The wars, quote, are winding down. but the need is still present.
This is about awareness and help where we can.
The unit I came from, when you go through selection, they say selection's an individual effort, and it very much is an individual effort, but once you transition out, it's not an individual effort.
People need to know about the problem. People need to know that might be having a problem, that there's help out there.
The effects of war, they stick around.
We're all going to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And along the way, it's engaging in the things and the qualities that each one of these nonprofits represents, right? So we represent charity, we represent, the right values of service and generosity, and we've all overcome our own battles. So for us, it's all symbolic.
It's kind of a part of a healing process, I think. Greatness always just stands on the edge of that comfort zone, taking that step and that leap of faith and trying something new. But I think when you try it in the right environments with the right people, you only you learn more lessons.
Dude, I hope everybody can actually summit. It's something that I know we're all physically capable of, but altitude is no joke when you're approaching 20,000 feet, and anything can happen.
With a lot of experience, with a little experience, at some point, nature puts everyone, facing reality. The thing that didn't seem like a big deal, like a few days ago, could become a big deal on a summit attempt. If you see at some point, somebody's having issues with altitude, ask, hey, dude, what's up? You doing fine? Or tell it to me, hey, I think, this person's, maybe not doing that great. Do we have everyone? Looks like.
The goal of the trip is beyond hiking Kilimanjaro. It's to show what's possible when you stay alive. Stay alive. Wait for this next opportunity to come up, man. It's very tragic. And not only just in terms of who that affects, which is all of us, whether we knew them or not, but look at the opportunities that are missed. There's always an opportunity. Until we die, there's an opportunity to get better.
It is a military issue.
Yep.
Create a new memory.
Yes, sir.
Let's be smart and just have fun, right? It's gonna be hard, but that's why we're here, right? To have fun and to kick some ass, I guess. I will be in the front with one of the Tanzanian guides, and then let's follow the 8,000 meter peak pace. That's gonna take us to the top of this mountain, guys.
Oh, here we go, big balls going at the end.
We're going from a little nowhere, close to 4, yeah. Yep.
You feeling, mate?
Alright, legs are kind of tired, to be honest with you. I think it's just walking so slow. It's just everyone's just we are
But thank you all for your patience with the slow pace today. I know at times it could feel why we're just walking at this, crazy slow pace, but trust me, in a couple days it's gonna make much more sense when everybody's super strong up there and feeling like almost normal. So good job at being patient, it's gonna pay off. But still,
Empty that. Fill it up.
Oh, gotcha.
I can get about.
getting ready to climb. I don't know how far we're climbing today. 6 hours worth of climbing.
On the mat?
On the mat.
6.7.
But still, it's
Turns out we've got to start fucking walking now, so a bit pissed off about that. Oh well, one day at a time.
Good bit.
This is a challenge. Very difficult, but we're doing a very good job. Proud of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these guys.
Jumbo. Jumbo.
All rallied around the same cause. You know, it's just we've got guys that have been in prison. We've got guys that have struggled with addiction. We've got guys that have put in 30 years plus in the Army. You know, we've got guys that are tier 1. We've got a lot of guys going on this thing, and what binds us all together is we're suffering through this deal. And there's no two ways about it, man. It's not the hardest hike in the world, but it takes something out of you, and you got to keep the spirits up. Got to rely on help. Got to be patient, and all in all, we want to take this experience and show people what's possible.
Air or two, just depends.
What's the highest altitude you've been at before?
Climbing? I think probably 15,000, 16,000, something like that.
Why'd you specify climbing?
Well, because I've jumped out of airplanes from 30, but that's totally different.
When you come together as a team, you can achieve more with a group of people than you can by yourself. Some of the things you do in mountaineering are try to inspire everybody around you, be aware of who you are and what's going on in your life at that time, take care of your food, your breathing. And when you get down to real basics, for me, you start to understand what's really important, and having a good group of people around you to help you get to the summit, and you're helping them get to the summit at the same time. That's what I like about mountaineering and why this is a good challenge for me and I think for the team.
So what we say, dude, I just noticed that homies like in straight
I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19. I joined because my life had already started to kind of fall apart a little bit, and I needed to find a way out. What better way to get out of a life falling apart than join the freaking Marine Corps, right? Prior to that, I started drinking, right, when I was real young. It was like 13 years old, 14 years old when I really was introduced to substance abuse. I didn't know it was substance abuse, it was alcohol, right? I was just having fun, partying with friends, but I was missing something inside. And the alcohol filled that void. When we got back for that first deployment, the alcohol addiction that I was struggling with, it just took on a different animal. It got dark. On our second deployment, we were there for like a month, maybe. Something happened that none of us were trained to respond to. And our saw gunner took his life in Ramadi. After that deployment, I started to feel the same way. I didn't want to live anymore either. I was done.
Most of my life, I have responded to things with fear. My mom was a busy single mom for a while, so dinner was fast food. So you take a kid who's isolating, not playing sports, eating fast food, end up gaining a lot of weight. And when I gained a lot of weight, what happened was I started getting bullied. I'm a quitter, I'm a coward. I start hanging out with the wrong group because they didn't judge me. They didn't call me names. But the thing about wrong groups is they do stuff like drugs and don't show up for class. And the cool thing is break the rules, break the law, and then brag about it. So now I have an eating disorder. I've got an anxiety disorder. I've got a panic disorder. I'm massively depressed. None of this is diagnosed. None of this is treated. Nobody really seems to know this is going on. It's like a phase for them. So one day at 19 years old, I had the house to myself. My mom was away on a business trip. My sister was in college, and my friends had come over, brought alcohol, When they left all the alcohol there, and a switch got flipped, and I was done. So I grabbed whatever alcohol was left, which was quite a bit, found a bottle of pills that was unopened, consumed all the alcohol, consumed all the pills, tried to kill myself at 19 years old. I blacked out for a couple of days. When I came to, I remember it was on a Sunday, and nobody was home yet, nobody knew it happened, and I had this really weird calm that settled over me. You know, I was sad. I was sad that my life got to that point. Fear had been that thing that always dogged me, right? It ate my lunch, it just destroyed me. So I basically made up my mind right then and there that no matter what it took, I was going to confront and overcome any fear that I had in my life. Graduated college, joined the Navy. Immediately I started facing obstacles. Because I had an arrest record, they wouldn't let me go straight to BUD/S, SEALs training. So they said I had to do at least 2 years in the fleet. I said, okay. Long story short, I make it to BUD/S, I graduate BUD/S, I check into SEAL Team 3. They saw my work ethic. They saw that I was quiet. They saw that I applied myself. So they ranked me very high. So my first platoon, I was ranked number 1. Second platoon, ranked number 1. Third platoon, ranked number 1. I'm no longer waiting for things to happen, like I'm going out and I'm grabbing responsibility. So it's 2012, and I had a fiance, and I wasn't yet married. And we did a long day into night training like we normally do. I get home around right before midnight. I get up early the next Saturday morning, and I'm gonna go for a run, I'm gonna go work out. I turn on the coffee pot, and I look over at the dining room table, and I see my wife's purse. And next to my wife's purse is a prescription pill bottle. So I walk over to the dining room table, I pick up the prescription pill bottle, and it says Adderall. I'm tired, I have a long day ahead of me. I had no business even touching her medication. But I said to myself, just one pill. So I took the one pill. 4 years later, I'm injecting methamphetamine on a daily basis.
I know for me, for a long time, I was in one of those valleys, and I felt like that was the end. I didn't feel like there was a summit. I felt like that was the summit, was the valley. I lost sight. It was almost like a fog came over and just blocked any sight or thought of the future, right? Just couldn't see the end goal anymore. So I was stuck in this freaking pit. Didn't know how to get out of it. Didn't want anybody to help me get out of it. Didn't want anybody around me, right? And ultimately that mindset and where I was at is what led me to go to prison. And when I was in prison, the fog started to clear. It's like you could see the trail ahead. It's like, okay, wait a second. There's a path. And you can see that on the mountain, man. Like one day you wake up and you can't see the summit. The next day you wake up and it's clear as day, smiling at you saying, come on, I'm ready.
Let's go, brother.
You know, it's a good hike so far. I think we've almost cleared our, and we got a bigger hill to go over there, but we're almost to what the altitude we're trying to get to. We got a light headache, which is indicative of altitude. Took some aspirin and doing my deep breathing. But so far, so good.
But
hoping that I can finally break the fever, get some decent sleep in, actually feel like a human. But glad I'm feeling like this now at the start of this hike rather than once we get up to the Kibo huts and make the push to the summit, because that could be pretty devastating at that altitude. So happy to get this crud out of the way and hopefully put it behind us, and fingers crossed, hopefully nobody else picks it up.
One team! One dream! One dream! One team! Non-stop! To the top! On the way! To the top!
This is the point where a team really kind of starts to galvanise. Pretty much, every bloke here has had something go on in their life.
No.
I'm an ex-sportsman and I enjoyed running into 20-stone blokes and doing all that stuff, and I was in that bubble and I was invincible for a time, and as soon as I left that environment, like lads who leave the units and stuff, little things can set us off, and we don't know how to deal with life on life's terms in those situations because we've never been accustomed to it. We struggle because we think that we should know how to deal with this kind of stuff, and we don't. And what this trip is doing is breaking down those barriers, breaking down those kind of pre-existing kind of this is what it should be like, because it's not. It's tough. I'm 42 and I still don't know how to do life. I'm learning every day, so it hopefully inspires just one person to kind of go, I'm going to ask for some help, because if you don't ask, you don't get. I always got told a closed mouth doesn't get fed, so open it up and get some food inside you.
I think I speak for the whole platoon when I say that this movement should be postponed into a later time.
I'm trying to figure out if horrible is worse than terrible, or if terrible is worse than horrible. Because whichever one's worse, that's what my sleep was last night.
Is anyone feeling sick? Like anyone, headaches, just not sleeping well, turning all night. Cannot avoid pain, but suffering is optional, right? Everybody's feeling the altitude for sure. Since the beginning of the trip till today, things start to get a little tougher and tougher and tougher, and that's just how the mountain goes.
Things were starting to get really bad. We would do really high-risk training, and what they didn't know, the guy to my left and the guy to my right, was I was under the influence of cocaine, methamphetamine, alcohol. So in 2017, I came forward. I said, I have a drug and a drinking problem. And shortly after, they administratively separated me. So something happened that changed everything. On December 9th, 2020, I checked into a place called Warrior's Heart.
So I called my family, let them know that I signed. I was going to go away for a little while. At this point, my son was 2 years old. So like in prison, you have two options. You can either rascal out and join that life, or not. You have a choice. I used that 2 years to really change my life. So now that I'm out of prison, I've been sober 2 years, I'm working a program, I'm trying to do the right thing for the right reasons. The founders and the people at Warrior's Heart that gave me a chance saw something in me that I didn't see for myself.
Veterans, there are mechanisms out there for getting help, getting treatment. It's easy to say, as a guy who does not have issues, I don't understand why that guy has issues, but if you knew what the suicide rate was for veterans, you know, those are all people that have problems that they are not able to conquer, not able to solve.
I want to tell them we're still there for you. You're not forgotten. To the spouse, like, hey, we're not overlooking you. We've not forgotten about you. We know that you also gave the government and the American people a blank check. We see you too, and we hear you, and we want to help you as well.
Part of this is to get awareness out there that there is treatment available through various programs. The reason I would support these programs over VA or some of the other government-instituted programs is, you know, some of those programs, you know, the treatment is to medicate you or to put you in a position to just kind of deal with stuff, where most of these organizations, they're geared around healing. The problem with seeking help as a veteran is that, you know, all the way back to your early days, you know, riding sick call was seen as a bad thing. Ask for help, find something, get help, and move on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a better life. There's just nothing wrong with it.
It's like you get the flu and you don't even want to get off the couch. Now we're climbing the tallest mountain in Africa. But it's gonna make it pretty great when we get there. Just one step at a time.
4 years ago, I never could have done something like this. Just had too many problems going on. Now I get to get out here and get after it and be with a group of guys climbing Kilimanjaro, man. So, I mean, it's life. Getting after life at the extreme. And that's a beautiful thing.
Don't stop! To the top! Don't stop! To the top! 1 dream! 1 team! 1 team! 1 dream!
It's that fucking concrete, brother. Let's go. Gotta prove your body wrong. Let's go. Kick it. Kick it. There you go. Kick the goddamn concrete. Kick it. Damn. There you go.
Job Knox! Woo! Woo!
All right, so one of the things that I'm doing here on my own has nothing to do with this trip in particular, is that I'm climbing for a couple of friends of mine, and by climbing for them, I'm actually climbing for their families. So, this one and this one. So I'm climbing these 2 flags up to the top, and so this one goes to my friend John, and I will send his family this flag. And this one will go to my friend Mike, to his family. Both dear friends of mine, and both not with us anymore. But making a jerk of it.
You just carrying that all the time?
So I'll send this to their families.
He's not at the dangerous spot right now, but things could develop really quick, and especially we don't want to keep him for like the whole night up at the same elevation. this instant. He's getting ready now to go down. Yeah. Nuts.
What's up, brother?
You fucking work up this trip for 3 fucking years. You get here, you feel like you're in good physical shape. And then you get fucking flu or some shit. And then coughing up blood. That was kind of what set it off. And we walked up to just to the hut, like fucking 500 feet away. And I just couldn't fucking keep my feet, man.
We'll have lots of time to be down and sad after this whole event. But right now, the name of the mission is, get down, be safe, and just execute, right? I need you to really, step up now. And don't think about how bombed, how all the time planning this stuff. If we don't do things right, this could become serious really quick. So, yeah. Copy that? It takes 7 minutes for the helicopter to get here and 7 minutes down. And that'll put him down to 700 meter altitude, the base of the mountain where he would be 100% safe, right? I don't think there is much you guys can do besides just, doing the best you can to take good care of yourselves, right? Yeah, that's all I had.
Honestly, it just breaks my heart to not be going up with everybody. But I know it's the right move. But it just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, dude. And enjoy the expedition. And I'll see y'all down at Narusha.
Sick, you're sick. Having pneumonia at altitude, there's a good chance you're going to die. Basically, you couldn't have put us in a crappier position. So that we as a team managed to solve it and find a pilot who was willing to fly the route.
Once you are that sick and for those many days, things could evolve quite rapidly.
Being that fucking close to the summit, something that we've been pushing for years, right? To make it happen. And then you're a fucking day hike away from getting up to the top, and to just watch that fucking fade away on the helicopter was that'll be a raw spot for me for a long time. But
we know what's in front of us. Gear's important, morale's important, and whether it's a game of rugby for me or an operation or something that we've all kind of done, it's game day now. This is what we've actually come here to do, and the 4 or 5 days getting to this point has been great, but we've got one little kind of last climb to do. So,
well, I made a decision to come here and to make it to the summit. It really is that simple. Look at everything we've been through just to get here in our own lives. There's so much momentum getting us up that mountain.
I wouldn't say waking up at midnight and stepping off at 1 o'clock in the morning is my most favorite thing to do, but I understand the rationale behind it.
I got the jitters I always get before a mission, and I always work them out during the mission. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, and just work my way up to the top. The mindset is you're going to pretty much have to kill me to not get me to the top.
This mission, I've seen too many people just not living anymore because they needed help, and so this really means a lot to me.
I think it serves as a good example that if you're out there and you need help, like a lot of these rock star people we have here with us are also asking for help how to get up this mountain and work together. So
Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa, one of the 7 summits. It tops out at 19,340 feet. Although this is not a technical climb, this mountain certainly provides everything that a big mountain can give you.
Good to go, Tim. Good to go.
It's gonna be cold, it's gonna be windy, long, high altitude grind, and it will definitely put everybody's grit to the test.
Imagine yourself like underwater, needing a breath of air, and you know you're able to get your head up above water and get just enough to keep going. That's how I would describe it.
I had to like tell myself every step, like nobody else can breathe either. You're not the only one suffering. And it's like, there's a little bit of peace in that.
Couldn't really gauge how high or low you were, how high the mountain was. You couldn't see anything except the ground right in front of you. The higher you got, the oxygen deprivation brings your field of view even tighter, to where you're, not only is the headlamp in front of you the only thing you can see, it's really the only thing you can concentrate on.
I'm gonna break here. I'm gonna get some breathing in, get some food, get some water. Doing all right.
What's our elevation?
I think we're 17,100.
All right.
That's a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Finally, trudging, literally moving purposefully and slowly and painfully up to this thing, and you get there, and for a moment, it's just like relief. Like the mountain just like pulled something out of me, you know? Like it was this, like osmosis. Like the mountain could handle what I couldn't handle.
Next ready, hands up. Woo! Ah, yeah, subir. Go. Wait.
What did it mean to you to be able to summit with those 2 flags?
It was a lot. It meant a lot. I took the 2 flags of my friends and I put them in display cases and sent them to their family. And so that those 2 guys were alive for a moment. That meant a lot.
For a lot of guys, it's the emotional vulnerability that's their mountain, right? We can all come together and be vulnerable and create a space where that's okay. Maybe that'll inspire the next dude to say, you know what, like, I'm going through something too.
There's gonna be low points, there's gonna be dips, there's gonna be high points. Like, that's life, and we all have experienced that.
You know, whether it's climbing a mountain, whether it's public speaking, whether it's having a child, these are all mountains, and they all have a journey you take. And you can have your summit moments, right? You enjoy it, and you keep moving.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. These guys for like pushing hard every day, for trusting in us, and for keeping such great energy for the whole trip. And you guys for putting so much love, energy, for teaching us every day how to do a great job keeping your head straight up towards the mountain when we need all that help and for making us feel like you care about what you guys do. So also thank you for letting us do what we love, which is working in the mountains and being up there and support and just be a part of your dream.
You know, you need people to climb the mountain with you. Like, I can't climb that mountain on my own. So it's super important that who is the team that I'm with whenever I'm going up that mountain, you know, because I've got to be able to trust them. They have to have experience, you know, and they have to be able to show me the way.
We are the warriors, mighty, mighty warriors, mighty, mighty warriors, coming from the mountain, Must take it over, we are the champions.
They took something away from it themselves, you know, and I'm super grateful. Number one, that they were willing to serve and be vulnerable and to talk about the things that we don't like talking about, and also receive the gifts that they got from doing something that's super hard, like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
You're all coming together and experiencing something kind of unique that you have to get away and go experience. I can watch a sunset or a sunrise, you know, anywhere, right? But something about the effort and the journey and the people and just it all just flows together, and you're in that moment just experiencing that harmony.
There's a shared bond there. You know, even talking to people on the side of a mountain and you start bringing things up and you're like, yeah, I go through that too, you know.
I didn't realize how fucked up I was until I got better. And a lot of the organizations that are part of Task Force Expedition focus on exactly that.
Hope can be found in just knowing that there's people out there that care about you, even though you don't know who they are and they don't really know who you are.
You know, 4 years ago, I was sitting in an apartment by myself, hopeless, on my way down and on my way out. 4 years later, I'm clean and sober, family. Things get better.
I want them to know that there's hope and they don't have to continue living the way that they're living. They can choose to take a different path.
We all have stories to tell. Like, we all play a part in each other's story.
You know, I can't make something that happened in the past, a friend of mine dying, I can't make that sad event not sad anymore. It's always going to be sad, and every time I think about it, it's going to be sad. But I learned to live with it. I learned to move on and tools in my kit so that it doesn't overwhelm the rest of my life. Heal from trauma, be somebody who has had trauma but is on the other side of it. And there's plenty of people out there who need help. So that's what it means for me to support this, is to support programs that are supporting veterans to heal and move past trauma and have a better life.